that's not what I want you to be looking at. So give us 1 second here as we get you to the actual title screen. We should say behind the scenes of Sonic Mania. So one second here. In the meantime, anyone here come a long way to come to the panel today? Where'd you guys come from? Jersey. Jersey? You came from Jersey. Anyone further than Jersey, East Coast?
Baltimore.
Wait a minute. These guys in the front were sitting from Ireland. Did you guys, you didn't come to the South by Southwest panel, did you? You didn't, right? Okay, we had someone from Greece at the South by panel. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Anyone as far as Ireland? Yeah, how about you in the back?
Malaysia.
Malaysia. Wow. That was a long way. AV people, I'm going to need your help for 1 second just to get us back on the right screen here, and then I think we'll be good to go.
Oh, he's from Kuwait. He's from Kuwait.
What? He's from where?
Kuwait.
You're from Kuwait?
Sure.
You came all the way out of this panel?
Sure.
That is, wow, that's fantastic. Guys, let's get up. All right, we've got some pretty exciting stuff planned for you guys today. Oh, I think we got it. Thank you, magical AV gods. We appreciate you. You're the best. All right, how many of you guys are here for Sonic the Hedgehog today? That's pretty good. And someone's here for Knuckles. We appreciate that. How many of you would like to hear more about a Sonic game that's coming out in just a few weeks called Sonic Mania? You guys are a phenomenal audience already. Just want to tell you that. Thank you for all the energy. We love it. Please keep it up.
You got it.
We're thrilled. This room is pretty much packed. We are thrilled to have all of you guys in the audience today. We got a lot of special things to talk about, some of which are not public knowledge yet. There's some stuff today we're going to talk about that no one's seen, no one's heard about yet. It's pretty cool stuff. But before we do that, let's introduce our panelists. We've got some very special guests, so please, as I announce our special guest today, give them a warm, welcoming round of applause. First off, you guys know this one. He's a man who got his start making Sonic games at a very young age, really, and started with a game called Sonic 3. He's the head of Sonic Team. He's the Sonic series producer, the man responsible for a huge chunk of not just Sonic 3, but a lot of Sonic games since. So please welcome to the stage, Takashi Iizuka.
Thank you.
All right, next, a man who got his start doing Sonic fan games and eventually got the attention of Sega through them. He created the mobile remasters for Sonic CD, Sonic 2, Sonic 1, and then he pitched a new idea, a project that would one day be called Sonic Mania. Please welcome to the stage, Christian Whitehead. Up next, though we started off behind the scenes, some of the great ports you've already played, Sonic 2, Sonic 1 on mobile, would never have been possible without this man. He's also been instrumental in the creation of Sonic Mania. Please welcome to the stage, Simon Thomley, also known as Stealth. Now, we all remember the original Sonic Mania announcement trailer, right? Okay, fun fact, that was exactly 1 year ago today. This is the 1 year anniversary of the announcement. 1 year ago. We remember that trailer, and we remember it in particular for one scene at the very end, a moment when Sonic pops up, spins around, and wags his finger. A lot of that art, which was the smoothest intro animation we've ever done to a Sonic game, was done by one person. He's here to join us today, and he is the lead artist for Sonic Mania. Please welcome to the stage, Tom Fry.
How's it going, everyone?
And last but not least, someone that you guys have probably heard about when listening to the amazing soundtrack that's been composed for Sonic Mania. From sound effects to the original compositions to updated versions of the classic tracks, this guy's been behind it all. Please welcome to the stage, T. Lopes. What's up, everybody? And finally, no, you don't just, hey, you stop right there. Now, we also have another special guest who is here to be the voice of Iizuka-san, but he actually plays a very large role at Sega of America. This is the guy that is in charge of all of our product development. Please welcome to the stage, Austin Keys. All right, now we have a ton of Sonic Mania stuff to talk about today. Before we get into it, we should also mention a few of the major items for Sonic that have been going out over the last week. There's been a lot of news. You guys have probably seen some of that, right? Yeah, just a bit of it. So, Sonic Forces got 2 new videos this week. We put out the theme song of Infinite. We put out some cutscenes featuring Infinite. We had an amazing Sounds of Sonic musical panel on Thursday. Did you guys go to that? Yeah! What do you guys think? I hear some of the people that were performing there might even be in the room with us right now. So did you guys really like that experience? Yeah. I think they appreciate that. All right, and then, after all this news about Sonic and comics, just yesterday we finally broke a lot of the silence and said there's a brand new Sonic comic deal that's happening with IDW. Are you doing it? Don't you heckle. Don't you heckle. Sit down. Now, here at Comic-Con, we've had the Sonic Jump activation over at the Futurism and Tech Pavilion. And you guys been there? Gonna jump? Like 4 of you. All right. So, if you jump on this trampoline and grab a gold ring, you can win $1,000. Which, yeah, right? Which is pretty cool because you can buy a lot of copies of Sonic Mania for your friends with $1,000. Also, you get a huge supply of Totino's pizza rolls, so you'll never get. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. There are some domes set up next to that too, which are playing Sonic videos, and today we've been playing Sonic videos all day, including the 4-part series from Sonic Boom Season 2. Oh, and there's also some Sonic branded Jones soda around somewhere. You still, oh, someone's got, yeah, there's a bit over there. Iizuka-san, did we get you that blue bottle? You still have that? Oh, that's all right. He drank it, it's all right. There's Sonic Knuckles and Tails branded Jones soda out there, which is pretty great. You can get that here. And of course, if you guys want to play Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, it's here at the show. It's going to be here all day tomorrow. Booth number 437. Get out there, check it out. Now, Sonic Mania, let's get into it. Sonic Mania is a 2D game. A lot of people might think, oh, it's a 2D game, it doesn't require a big team to work on it. That's not true. And there's a lot of people sitting in the audience today who were part of making that game and making that experience. Now, as a panel, they only let us put a few people up here. But there's a lot of people sitting in the audience, there's a lot of people looking from home that have worked on this game, and I'd like to take a moment right now. Let's also want to say thank you to all the people who worked on Mania who may not be sitting up here right now. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you all very much. All right, now, Iizuka-san, been a lot of Sonic news this week. You think we can add a couple more reveals to that with tonight's panel?
Audience, what do you think?
Beautiful, she said. All right, well, it seems like people are pretty excited. Let's get right into it. So, as we look at the content, just so you guys know, we've got intros, origins of Mania, we're going to talk about programming. Programming is fun, is what that's called. Art talk with Tom, we're going to get into behind music with T. We're going to talk about the vinyl album for Mania. And I don't know what that number, I don't know what 7 is, that's weird. Anyway, we'll get to that later, don't worry about that. You guys ready? Yeah. Let's do it, Christian. How you doing, Christian?
Fine and dandy, lemon shandy.
A very Australian thing to say. All right, Iizuka-san, I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to talk to Christian first about the first time that you guys saw Sonic Mania. In fact, actually, Iizuka-san, the project wasn't even called Sonic Mania the first time you saw it, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was early 2016.
Christian, why don't you go ahead and reveal what the code name, the project name was for Mania before it was Mania?
So when we first presented Sonic Mania, it was actually called Sonic Discovery. It was a different game back then.
Sonic Discovery. Christian, I remember you and the team. Tom was there, Simon was there, a guy named Jared was there. Jared's the lead level designer for Go to West. All of you guys came up. What was your thought behind making a new 2D Sonic game?
So I mean, like, we all are massive fans of the classic Sonic series. We just wanted to kind of go back to that, just for this game, you know, just to see how it goes. But like, not just like redo old stuff, actually come up with like new places for Sonic to go and new things to happen to Sonic. And so it was just a simple thing, really. We just wanted to make a fun little 2D Sonic game.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people in the audience are pretty excited for a
Good choice.
So let's set the stage here. You guys are driving up to Sega. You're about to pitch this concept to Sega and say, hey, guess what? You should go back to 2D Sonic games and you should trust us to do it. Are you guys, you know you're about to meet with Iizuka-san. Are you guys nervous at all?
There was a little bit of nervous jitters.
Tom, how about you?
I mean, typically I would be nervous during like a practical exam or something like that, but I think, this is like the most important exam of my life, this was, and just took it in my stride. Wasn't nervous at all, really, just get bloody well, get out there and do it.
Excellent. And Simon, how about you?
Kind of a bit. We had taken enough time to put together something that by that time we all thought pretty much that we had something pretty good going in, so.
Great. All right, so you guys, you roll in there, you present this concept for a new 2D game. Iizuka-san, you're there at Sega. These guys get in the room, they pitch this whole concept to you. What's going through your mind at this time?
Sorry, I speak in Japanese.
Oh yeah.
今までソニックのゲームはいろんなチームに作ってたんですけども、正直一番最初にソニックのゲームを作るのってやっぱり難しいんで、なかなかソニックらしいゲームにならなかったんですけども、彼らが最初に持ってきたスタジオポリスっていうところは非常にレベルデザインが良くてですね、彼らなら新しいソニックを作れるという自信を持って、今回のこのマニアを提案しました。
So up until now, there have been many teams working kind of on making Sonic games, and through the history of these other teams making Sonic games, there's been a lot of challenges and a lot of people maybe putting in games for him to review. And making classic games is very difficult and something that he hasn't really seen realized in a way that was true to the classic series. But when he saw the Studiopolis level that the team had designed, the level design was really great. And he felt confident that this team could take charge and make a true 2D classic Sonic game that would feel true to the original series.
All right, cool. So you had a bit of faith even up front. You knew that these guys might have something really special. And then Christian, so you pitched the game. What does Iizuka-san say to you? You're hoping for like yeah, it's a great idea, or no, I don't like it. Because either way, it's a yes or no, right? What does he say to you?
So we get to the end of our presentation meeting because we have the game up on the screen, and then Iizuka-san just casually turns to us and just says, "I have many questions." And then that was it. We were kind of herded out of the room. We went to lunch, and we were sort of like, "What's going to happen?"
So you got this lingering sense of what does "I have many questions" mean, right?
Yeah,
is it good, is it bad?
We came back, we were brought back in about an hour later, and then Iizuka-san rolls in this whiteboard and starts writing a list of games down. And starts writing Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic CD, Sonic and Knuckles. And I'm like, where's this going? And then, it ends with two words, Sonic Mania.
And that exact moment. And so that was the very first moment that anyone had heard even the concept of Sonic Mania was when he wrote it up there on that whiteboard.
Yeah, that's right.
And Christian, then I remember Iizuka-san said something to you guys that I think would stick with you for quite some time. It became sort of a catchphrase for the development team, right?
Yeah, well, when he was explaining the type of game it is, he said, this is a game by the Mania, for the Mania.
By the Mania, for the Mania, yes.
Sonic by the Mania, for the Mania. Obviously, it's so catchy, I can't remember it.
By the Mania, for the Mania. And that's shown up, you guys might recognize, that's been a couple other places, hasn't it, Christian? Within the game even.
Yeah, we kind of snuck it in. Little billboards.
So it's been into the Atlas even since, I think this was back there at the very beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's been there the entire time. Cool. All right, now, Christian, can you give us any other fun stories, maybe concepts for the game that didn't make it past that concept phase as you guys were developing?
So, I don't know if you want me to talk a little bit about how the hardboard heavies came about. So, basically, when I wrote the second revision of the story, because the first revision wasn't even really a story, but this was the first time we were coming up with a proper story for the Sonic Mania concept. And so basically I was thinking, what is Eggman going to do after Sonic 3 and Knuckles? And so basically I imagine that after Sonic 3 and Knuckles he falls into a bout of heavy depression. And basically he no longer has the will to go out and actually attack Sonic, and he retreats back to his home base in his pajamas and is just building Eggman Land with his little toy blocks. And so I'm there's got to be something to fill the void. And I'm what happened to all those machines that he just left out there at the end of Sonic and Knuckles, the Egg Robos? I'm maybe they went a little bit mad, maybe they got a bit wise, and maybe they, got a bit sassy. So after thinking about this some more, and 3 words came to mind, and I was just hardboard heavies. And so Tom worked with me and we came up with these sketches for the various hardboard heavy characters, and then I presented the story to Iizuka-san. And then after a bit of back and forth, we kind of came up with a new idea of how the hardboard heavies would be used in the game. And then eventually we came up with something that would be Sonic Mania.
Cool. And people are going to get to see the hard-boiled heavies on August 15th, right?
They sure are.
You'll notice we haven't shown all of them to you yet. This is a deliberate thing on our part in order to not spoil all of the game for you before it's come out. So we hope that's cool with you guys. Now, Christian, let's also talk about the length of the game. This is a big thing that people have talked about. A lot of the original games were 6 to 8 zones, with the exception, of course, of the holy grail for a lot of people, which is Sonic 3 and Knuckles locked on. That was 2 games. How would you compare Sonic Mania to the originals?
So Sonic Mania is definitely longer than Sonic 1. It's definitely longer than Sonic 2. It's definitely longer than Sonic and Knuckles. And all I can say is it's comparable to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But we also have additional modes that we can't talk about yet that are kind of extra things as well. So I think you'll be happy with the length of the game.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much, Christian. Simon, how you doing? You're up next. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this. All right. This is called Programming is Fun, also known as Simon Fixes Everything. Simon, let's talk about what it was like to really make a lot of this magic happen behind the scenes. Not everyone here probably knows what it is that you spend your time doing, but you spend a lot of time making sure that this game works. How would you describe your job time in 20 seconds or less? What'd you do?
Well, first of all, just like with the remasters, I start out doing a lot of the gimmicks and enemies, bosses, and stuff like that. And as we get toward the end, I go through everything that's been made and just make sure it works correctly. If there's any bugs, I fix those.
We're going to get back to the bugs in just a second. But first I want to know, Simon, you obviously all the people up here have a history in the Sonic community. A lot of the fan sites you guys might go to, these guys probably know them. They were probably there with you, years ago. Simon, how did you get your start within the Sonic community?
Oh, well, that was a long time ago. I had found some friends online through Sonic, just at some scattered message boards and stuff. Around 97 or so, I had a buddy that me and him decided to get together and start what became basically the first condensed group of Sonic technical stuff in one place. We called it the SSRG.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that you fixed throughout the development. So I understand that you guys keep video records of some of your favorite bugs that happened as you built the game so that you can laugh at them later. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, we've got like a top 10 that became a top 20 that became a top 30.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with those.
Well, do you think that maybe if the audience is excited enough, we could show them one or two of these?
I think we have some.
Okay. All right. I think that was pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look then at the first one. Simon, set this one up. I know this one involves tails. Set this one up for us before we take a look.
Okay. Well, we have basically, you know how the camera follows the player. Sometimes it locks in place, and usually when you touch the bottom of the camera, you're supposed to die. But sometimes it doesn't quite catch up, and that's what happened with tails.
This is it happening to tails. Here you go. This is the first time anyone's ever seen this.
Ready, everyone.
I just want, moonwalking Tails there is the best. Tails doesn't care at all, Simon. It's amazing. All right, so we have another one to show off. This one involves Knuckles. Tell us about this one that we're about to watch.
Okay. Well, Knuckles has actually caused several hilarious things, but this one in particular, different objects will set you into different states, programming-wise, and this one, this one sets up the flipping animation, but it doesn't take you out of gliding, so you can just glide across the level, flipping around.
Boom Knuckles returns.
This was one of the favorites that we saw at Sega when one of the builds came in. I was like, oh, this is the best. This is the best. Although, there really is maybe one that's even better than both of the ones that we've seen already. Simon, why don't you set this last one up with us?
All right, earlier during development, we had kind of a different workflow. We did a lot of manual merging. At one point, I tried to merge some stuff into my branch, but I forgot to copy over one of the sprite files, so things started getting called wrong.
So it's pulling in the wrong sprites is what you're telling us.
Right.
And it just so happened to pull in the sprites to make the next thing possible. You ready? All right, count us down. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Simon, I want you to know this is possibly my favorite gift of all time after today. Oh, man. Oh, Simon, these are amazing. And so, Simon, what you do then is you fix these beautiful things, but we'd like to say thank you for showing all of these to us today. Guys, all right, and now it's time for Art Talk with your host, Tom Fry. Tom, take it away. I'm just kidding, Tom. That's not restricted at all.
So where should I begin?
Tom, you are the guy that a lot of people know your work. They may not realize that they know it, right? but you're the lead artist for the game. A huge amount of things in this game, a lot of the art that people are going to see when they play through Sonic Mania on August 15th has been your doing.
Yeah.
What was one of the first things you created back to the prototype pitch of the game concept?
Well, this was my first pixel art title, so I thought probably the best place to start would probably be with Sonic Sprite. So, you know, the idle animation, the walk cycle, and just kind of getting a feel for the lay of the land, I guess. Yeah, that was the first thing.
And I remember too that, because when you guys came in and presented this to Iizuka-san,
Yeah.
we got to the title screen for the game, right?
Yes.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Yes, a couple of my objectives with the graphics on the game were to seriously up the color depth of the sprites versus the 16-bit originals, and also the amount of frames of animation as well. So with the title screens on the original games, if you take Sonic 1 for example, it's about 5 frames worth of animation, a lot of animation in code as well. So I thought, well, let's just multiply that by, I don't know, let's multiply that by 10. So, you know, 60 frames of animation or thereabouts. I'm sure that the pedants out there will probably tell me it's 59 or something, but let's call it 60, all right, okay, I know who you are. I see you. But what I didn't really take account for was just how long it was going to take to clean up each individual frame. To animate it wasn't very long, but I ended up calling it the Widowmaker, because it took me about 2 weeks to clean that sucker up, whilst also creating assets for Studiopolis Act 2 as well, which was in the prototype, so yes.
Right. So poor Tom here, 2 weeks before that meeting, is sitting here every day fixing up every single frame of that animation that most of you guys also saw in that trailer, and it's done in like 2 seconds, right? Know that was 2 weeks of Tom's life. Thank you very much.
Well, at least we got a meme out of it, right? We got a good meme out of it. So.
We got an amazing meme out of that.
That was my plan all along, clearly.
Now, Tom, though the game is obviously inspired a lot by the Genesis sort of titles, from a hardware perspective, this game would actually need to run on something a little bit more beefy, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you might call this maybe something slightly self-indulgent, but as a child of about, you know, the sort of sprightly age of about 6, I'd always dreamt of seeing a 2D Sonic on the Sega Saturn. So that was very much my raison d'etre with this, is to, as I say, up the colour depth, up the frames, that kind of thing, and just give it something of a flavour that you would have seen on that system. Maybe with the RAM card installed, you know, I think give it 4 megs of RAM, something like that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that's pretty much it really.
Yeah.
Sega Saturn all the way, baby, you know.
I'm with you there on the Sega Saturn, by the way. Any like Knights fans in the house?
Yes!
Jared's a big Knights fan as well.
All about the Saturn. Now, this brings up a really interesting point, Tom, which is that this game kind of melts a lot of different styles together. You've got the 2D pixel style stuff going on, and then you've got your key art that you made, right, which is a very different art style. How was that, making all those different types?
Yeah, it sort of was a nice way to blow out the cobwebs. I mean, you know, working on pixel art day in, day out, it can grind you down, but you know, I kept my spirits up where I could and everything, but yes, when I found out, you know, there was an opportunity to do the key art, I wanted to put myself right at the front there. And I've been, you know, I've probably spent the last 7 years or so sort of gilding a very sort of bespoke style for approaching that kind of airbrushed look, you could say. So, yeah, it's all vector-based, whereas the pixel art, of course, is raster. It's pixel-based, obviously. So yeah, it was a nice way to change up the pace of things, and fortunately I was able to bang out Sonic Knuckles and Tails and Eggman and Hardboiled Heavies in about 3 weeks. Which, yeah, but that method is geared towards speed. You got to go fast.
That's a good answer. Tom, we're almost out of time for your section, but I think you want to talk about some of the other people that were also on the art team.
Big time. I can't talk about the art without mentioning Paul Veer, Kieran Gates, and Midio, who are the 3 very talented artists who backed me up on this project. I'll have to watch my words carefully so I don't give away too much, but to sort of nominate their kind of big achievements on the project. Paul was in charge of Tails' and Knuckles' sprites, and then Kieran and Midio were largely in charge of redoing the assets for the classic zones. My job was to do all of the brand new zones in the game, Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, so, without those guys, we couldn't have gotten the game looking as beautiful as we did, and I'm very, very proud of those guys. Love you guys, and let's give them a hand.
All right, thank you very much, Tom.
No worries.
All right, next, we got a fun one next. You guys ready for this? Here we go. This is Behind the Music with Lopes. Sorry, just kidding, it's T. Lopes. Please get it right, it's T. Lopes. Let's hear it for T, please. T and I kind of have this in-joke going on where I will always call him the wrong name on purpose, and sometimes he'll do the same back to me. So.
I'm getting tired of that.
All right, Tay, well, it's almost time. So, Tree, let's go ahead and let's talk music. You ready, man?
Thank you, Adam.
How many of you guys have heard the music from Sonic Mania already?
And how do you like it?
Awesome, that's good to hear. It makes you feel better, that's for sure.
Much better, thank you.
T, tell us, how did you get started in music? Where did all of this begin for you?
All right, so I come from a musical family, so I've always been around music, and believe it or not, as a kid I wanted to be an animator, just like Tom.
Yeah.
You looked out.
He's a very good artist.
I chose a different career. It's very good.
My spot is safe.
But at the same time, I always composed music inside of my head, even though I didn't have the means to translate it into something audible. Eventually, when I was around 12, I found out software to compose music and changed my life completely.
Now that kind of ties into the next question I'm going to ask you, which is what was your first experience with Sonic the Hedgehog?
I actually have a funny story to tell you about that. Back when I was a child, this must have been 1995, my dad came up to me, because I was kind of a mischievous kid, so he told me, T, if you behave, if you have good grades in school, I'm going to buy you a Sega. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Yes, so for like 2 or 3 months, I behaved really well. I would make my bed every morning. And,
that's like a Sega Saturn, yeah?
So when my grades came in, my father called me and he said, you did very well, so I have a present for you. Go underneath your bed and see what's there. So I go underneath my bed and I pull out a box, and there it is, the brand new Sega Master System. But it came with Sonic included, so I was very happy just to own something that said Sega on it. Very happy to call all my friends to come over and play. Anyway, yeah, that was my first experience. That was my first Sonic game, and it's still one of my favorite soundtracks till today.
So in hindsight, it was good that your dad gave you a Master System instead of a Saturn.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you so much. Yes.
See, how did you get involved with Sonic Mania? How did you get started with all these guys?
All right, to make a very long story short, some of you guys probably know me from YouTube, from my channel. So I started making remixes, and I did that for many years. And then this gentleman right here, and Jared Castle, they formed Pagoda Quest, and they invited me to join them and make music for their games. And here we are.
Did a bloody good job.
Yes. Short story. Yeah.
Awesome. What was the first song that you made for Sonic Mania? The very first one.
The first song was Studiopolis, and believe it or not, it was the easiest song to make for me. At the time, we were, talking about getting inspiration from Sonic CD to make the soundtrack. But then eventually it became its own thing, and it just kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. But it was very natural. It was the first song that I presented to the team, and they were pretty impressed with it, and we didn't change anything. It was kept exactly as it was.
And see, whose voice is that at the beginning of Studiopolis going, lights, camera, action?
Listen to this. Lights, camera, action.
All right, well, we've got some stuff to talk about now for the vinyl album, T. You guys ready for this? If you haven't seen this yet, this is pretty cool. A lot of people want a vinyl album. We partnered with Data Discs to make that happen. We are so excited to be partnering with them for this. And they just announced, available only for this weekend, there is a limited edition vinyl available on their website. That's what it looks like. It's a clear vinyl with the 4 colors from Sonic Mania in there. And it's only available again this weekend, so people that don't order it this weekend won't have a chance to get it. So, want to throw that out there. Data Discs has released all the info on that. That's what it looks like. It is gorgeous. We think it looks great. So thank you, Data Discs. You guys are awesome. Thanks for helping us. All right, and today I think, T, we might have one more song to talk about. Is that right?
Well, if the audience cheers enough. That sounds good, but maybe I think we should unveil something that nobody has ever seen before.
Would you all like to see something you haven't seen yet? She can't believe I'm not.
All right.
Would you like to all to see the first screenshot of special stage in Sonic Mania?
All right, here we go. Count it down with me, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, guys, I forgot to put the screenshot in there. Oh, no. Just kidding. There are spheres. Simon, what can you say on this?
Well, it probably looks sort of familiar, sort of like something you've seen before.
Saturn.
Tom, over to you. What do you think?
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
us.
I was just thinking about the set of blue spheres on this guy in the front, actually. But yeah, it's worth noting that it's actually an evolution of the old stages, the old Sonic CC stages, but it plays very, very differently.
Talking about that, can you guys explain how are these special stages going to play in Sonic Mania? How are we going to get those Chaos Emeralds this time around?
So on like a cosmetic level, you know, you might be thinking, oh, this is not a bloody UFO stage, is it? There is a UFO, but it actually behaves very differently. There's only one UFO this time, and he's a cheeky little fella. He's got the Chaos Emerald, and basically Sonic needs to catch up and get the Emerald back in a dimensional heist. And so essentially Sonic has a couple of things to collect in this stage. He's got the blue spheres, which also glow yellow in this case, and that's when you reach Mark 3. So essentially you have to collect these blue spheres to increase Sonic's Mach speed.
And then once you catch the UFO, you get the Emerald, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
You have a timer. Collect links to increase your time.
So Iizuka starts pointing out there's a timer up top, and you collect the gold rings to increase the timer. So collect as many gold rings as you can to boost your time, get the blue spheres to boost your speed, and catch the UFO. Is that right, Simon?
Yeah, it's kind of a mix-up of some stuff that you may have already been used to in the older stages.
Yeah, and as you can see, I mean, the background's, I mean, it's pretty trippy already, but it gets pretty vaporwave later on as well. Aesthetic. And as you can see, we've put a few throwbacks in there as well. The fish from Sonic 1 in there, and
And shout out to Saturn Sonic, who's in full force there.
amen to that.
A fun little thing to say is I actually programmed, like, this isn't using like GPU rendering at all. It's all done in software, so it's like really true to how a Saturn would render 3D.
Awesome.
All right, now, would you guys like to hear the first listen at the new music we created for the special stages? Come on, guys, you can do so much better than that. All right, good enough.
Everybody ready? All right. Let's see if the volume's good. Here we go. This is called Dimension Heist by T. Lopes. video for it. They didn't show up on the screen, but I promise you we have a cool video, just like all the other tracks that we have released. Yeah, please, T,
Real
go
quick,
ahead.
I would just like to thank Fox so much for being there with me and for helping me out with the music and for teaching me so much and for being so patient. Thank you, Fox. Put your hands together.
Thank you, man.
All right, we've only got about 7 minutes left, so we're gonna go pretty quick through the rest of this stuff here. You guys ready? Here we go, Sonic Speed. All right, we've got one other tidbit of news to reveal today.
So some of you may already know this, but we're happy to confirm that Sonic Mania has those kind of sprite cutscenes that you see in Sonic 3 and Knuckles between the stages.
That's been floating around for a little while. I guess we haven't really said anything truly officially, but there is one other thing we haven't mentioned yet.
How many of you like the animation in the pre-order trailer?
What if we told you that the same team that created the animation for that pre-order trailer have also maybe created a short opening animation for Sonic Mania similar to Sonic CD?
We can wait to see what do you think.
All right, so that is your first official confirmation that Tyson and his animation team are doing something else. It's going to be unveiled August 14th on our launch trailer, which comes up the day before the game launches, and we are super stoked to show it to you guys. They have worked so hard to make something amazing, so please look forward to it. All right.
Religious experience.
And a very big thank you to Tyson and Hyper Potions and Chris and everyone that helped us with those trailers as we went through them. We really appreciate all the hard work we did. You guys like those trailers, right? And even to Sergio, who's sitting over there. Sergio, we sat there until like 10 p.m. one night editing every frame to get that beat for beat with the music. So thank you very much, Sergio, as well. All right, how much time we got for Q&A? We got like 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, we're gonna try and go quick. Now, but before we get to the Q&A, I'll remind you guys, we are doing a signing session tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. here at Comic-Con. If you want to get stuff signed, please do come by at that time, ask your questions then. Let's go ahead and begin. You're up, Mario.
This is a question about the levels in the game, about like the returning stages like Green Hill and Flying Battery. I was wondering how many of these, the returning ones, were ones that you wanted to put in, and how many were there any that Sega said that you should probably include?
So the level list actually changed a couple of times, for various reasons, either the story or just to do with what was appropriate for us to use.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we also just had to make sure that it was a good balance of different tropes. So obviously you don't want to be going through a city level 5 times. We need a good balance of nature and machinery and stuff like that. So yeah, it took probably about 2 weeks or so to nail it down, but once we did, I think hopefully it should be a great little balance.
Cool. All right, also, if you're leaving, I'd recommend don't leave yet. Trust us. Just gonna throw that out there. Next in line, please.
Hi there. So there's been a little bit of a tradition in the very early games of when Sonic gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds, Sonic would be able to transform into Super Sonic within the actual level of the game itself. Has that tradition continued on with this game?
I think that answer is you're gonna have to wait and see on August 15th. Wait and see, wait and see.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome, thank you. Next question.
Hello guys, thank you once again for Sonic Mania, it was incredible. So, a couple of cool questions, and this is a legitimate question because I've been wanting to ask a question for so many years, and this goes for both the 2D and the 3D games. Are we going to see the return of the Super Emeralds and the Hypersonic and Tails and Knuckles?
I can answer this one for you on behalf of Iizuka-san to make it quick. I asked him this 12 times.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so the answer is with Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, they added the Super Emeralds and then realized very quickly, oh no, if we keep adding emeralds, we have to keep one-upping ourselves for the new form, the new evolution, the next best thing. And it's very quickly becomes like a certain anime series where people keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And they're like, we don't want to do that. So what they did is they went ahead and said, all right, let's stop using these Super Emeralds, let's just go back to the original 7. And that's why they've done that, is this power creep kind of thing that they wanted to avoid.
Will we see the return, maybe?
I don't think you'll see their return in Sonic Mania, but if that's something you guys are excited for, all of you can hit us up on social media and tell us anytime. We pass that feedback on. I promise you, we pass it on. Trust me.
And one more quick question: Are we gonna get Are we ever gonna hear the name Dr. Robotnik instead of Dr. Eggman?
Okay, after this, you read the next person, but his official name is Dr. Ivo Robotnik. His nickname, of course, is Dr. Eggman. So you may see it in social videos even if you pay close attention. All right, next question.
Hi there. I grew up playing, Sonic back in the 90s, Sega Genesis and everything. But since the 2000s and on, the Sonic games haven't been as good. Is this a return to form for Sonic to be like an A-list contender, just like like Mario was?
Did you play Generations or Colors?
No.
Audience, does he have some homework tonight? Yes! Trust us, they're good. We got one more question, I think.
Despite my age, I've played the classic games quite a bit, and I always love messing around in the level select and debug. My only question is, will that come back? Because I really like that.
Yeah! There's a lot of secret things to find. I won't say what they are. So just play the game and find them.
Alright. Now, guys, we're about to wrap up, so bear with us. We don't want to run over time because these nice Comic-Con people have been very gracious in letting us be here at all. So, we have one last gift for you. Now, Sonic Mania doesn't have a physical edition planned. A lot of people want it. We're passing that feedback on, believe us. But even if we did have a physical edition, there'd be one big difference between a physical copy that you get these days and a physical copy you might have got back in the 90s. When you pop up in that case, can someone tell me what would that have been?
Cartridge.
Yeah, a lot of you are saying a booklet. What if I was to tell you that he maybe had made something? There's your gift right there. We had this idea a month ago, and so we thought if there's not going to be a manual, no matter what, let's make one, make a collectible item, and put some awesome stuff in there for you guys. So we present to you the Sonic Mania Introduction Manual. This features a sneak peek, the first sneak peek of the game's storyline. There's a special section with messages from all the people behind the game. It's got never-before-seen concept art. It's got exclusive sketches like the ones you saw in the presentation by Tyson Hess. The entire manual was put together as a labor of love. It is our final gift to you before the game releases, and all of you are getting them for free as you leave here tonight. Tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock. You can get those manuals signed. There's a special section to get them signed. Iizuka-san, over to you.
On behalf of the entire Sega team,
You got it.
On behalf of Pagoda West Games, Christian, Simon, and all of the dev team.
Thanks for all your support.
And thank you all for believing in this project.
Wait. Oh, we're not done yet. We're almost done.
A project by the Mania.
For Mania!